Hey, Niners fans, we've got so much to unpack today. And if you're living and breathing San Francisco football, you know the ride has been nothing short of wild this season. The biggest story everyone keeps talking about is the quarterback situation. After Brock Purdy went down with that injury, Jones stepped in, and let me tell you, he has completely exceeded expectations. 3 starts, 3 wins, and the way he's handled pressure moments has left the league buzzing. You can see why Kyle Shanahan wanted him in the pre-draft process and why the front office thought he could be a perfect fit for the offense. He's quick in the pocket, knows how to get the ball out on time, and can hit his receivers with pinpoint accuracy, but what really stands out is his composure. Against the Saints, he went 26 of 39 for 279 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and delivered in clutch moments when it mattered most. There was a minor hiccup with a strip sack, but even that came down to him taking responsibility for the play rather than poor execution. It's the kind of maturity that completely changes the perception of a young quarterback, especially considering the early doubts about his readiness to play at this level. Then you look at Purdy, who has had an up-and-down start to the season. When he came back from injury, it was clear he wasn't at 100%. He's thrown some incredible passes, but turnovers have been an issue, including 4 interceptions across 2 starts after the Jacksonville game. Even so, his skill set as a franchise quarterback is undeniable. He can drive the offense, make the right reads, and deliver when it counts, something we saw last season and continue to see flashes of now. But Jones? He's taken those moments and elevated them, making plays that feel like veteran-level execution. Against Arizona, for instance, despite a tough moment throwing a bad pick before the game-winning drive, he came back and orchestrated a calm, precise drive that ended up putting his team ahead. That ability to reset after a mistake is rare, especially for young quarterbacks stepping into this spotlight. And let's not forget the game against Jacksonville, where he played through a knee injury and still delivered 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The way he managed the quick, short passes, took what the defense gave him, and made clutch plays despite getting hit hard multiple times, limping around on the field, and even having to be helped off at one point. It was a legendary performance for a backup quarterback, and it's one that will be remembered in the history of this franchise. So, let's get one thing straight. There's no quarterback controversy right now. Brock Purdy is signed to a huge contract, and the team isn't about to bench him. But what Jones has done gives the Niners options. He's shown that if Purdy needs more time to recover, the offense can still perform at a high level. The interesting part is comparing their styles. Purdy brings more mobility, which opens up the offense in ways that Jones can't, particularly in today's NFL, where a quarterback who can extend plays adds a dynamic element. Jones, on the other hand, has a stronger arm, great pocket awareness, and can deliver precise throws that stretch the field vertically. Both are excellent fits for Kyle Shanahan's system because they operate like point guards in the offense, distributing the ball accurately and keeping the rhythm of the plays flowing. But the added dimension Purdy brings with his athleticism cannot be understated. The long-term benefit is obvious, but in the short term, Jones playing as well as he is gives the coaching staff flexibility to manage Purdy's return carefully, ensuring the team remains competitive while keeping the starter healthy. Meanwhile, the defense has been navigating challenges of its own, particularly with Nick Bosa out. The pass rush has struggled without him, and the numbers reflect that clearly. Early in the season, with Bosa on the field, the Niners were dominant, recording double-digit pressures, multiple sacks, and consistent quarterback hits that disrupted opposing offenses. But once he went down, the production dropped significantly. In Week 4, they only had 5 pressures against Trevor Lawrence and no sacks, something that hadn't happened since 2015. Even against the Rams last Thursday, while they managed 16 pressures, there was only 1 sack and a single quarterback hit, and Stafford spent much of the game completely unbothered in the pocket. This has raised serious questions about the depth of the pass rush and whether John Lynch needs to make aggressive moves to bolster the defensive line. And it's not just Bosa. The team has had to manage other injuries along the defensive front, including Terrace Moss's hamstring issues and lingering concerns from last season. That means adding depth at defensive end and possibly defensive tackle isn't just a luxury. It's almost a necessity if the Niners want to maintain a top-tier defense and support the secondary effectively. Speaking of the secondary, Malik Mustafa is a player to watch. After being drafted last year in the 4th round, he quickly established himself as a starting safety and has shown the ability to play with extreme physicality while also covering effectively. Last season, he allowed just 7 receptions for 49 yards over 409 snaps in coverage, an outstanding mark that shows his reliability in the defensive backfield. He's the kind of player who can change the dynamic of a game with his speed, intensity, and playmaking ability. His return could give the Niners' defense a needed boost, even if it doesn't directly address the pass rush problem. Meanwhile, Maris Siegel, who has a similar physical approach, has been targeted more heavily in coverage and has shown some vulnerability there, highlighting just how important Mustafa's presence will be once activated. Now, on the offensive side, Christian McCaffrey has been having an extraordinary and somewhat unusual season. His rushing numbers aren't eye-popping due to the struggles of the offensive line, but as a receiver out of the backfield, he is absolutely dominating. 39 catches on 52 targets, 387 yards receiving, and nearly 10 yards per catch. These are elite numbers for a running back in any context, let alone one who has also carried the ball over 90 times for almost 300 yards without scoring a rushing touchdown yet. His ability to create mismatches and rack up yardage in the passing game is putting him among the top receivers in the league, and if he keeps this pace, he could shatter single-season records for a running back. That versatility and talent make him an indispensable piece of the offense, one that complements both Purdy's and Jones's skill sets, giving Shanahan's offense a dual-threat dimension that few teams can match. The Niners are in an interesting spot because they have proven depth at quarterback, a versatile and explosive backfield, and a defense that is missing key pieces but has rising stars ready to make an impact. The balance of all these elements will determine not only how the team navigates the next few weeks, but also how they set themselves up for the playoff run. Injuries, matchups, and performance under pressure will dictate who shines and who struggles. But one thing is clear. The team has shown resilience, talent, and a capacity to adapt, and fans are witnessing football played at a high level in both preparation and execution. Now let's dive deeper into the defensive side of the ball, because while the offense has been handling the quarterback situation impressively, the front seven has faced some serious challenges. Nick Bosa's absence has been felt in every single game since his injury. When he's on the field, the Niners' pass rush is a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Pressure coming from every angle, discipline lanes, and the ability to collapse pockets in seconds. But without him, the numbers tell a stark story. Weeks 1 and 2, Bosa dominating the line of scrimmage. The team recorded double-digit pressures, multiple sacks, and quarterback hits that consistently disrupted offenses. From week 3 onward, once he went down, the production dropped dramatically. Week 4 against Trevor Lawrence, the Niners managed just 5 pressures, no sacks, no hits, and it was a stark reminder of how critical Bosa is to this defense. Against the Rams last week, they improved slightly with 16 pressures, but only 1 sack and a single quarterback hit. Matthew Stafford was largely unbothered, able to sit comfortably in the pocket and pick apart the secondary. That kind of performance simply isn't sustainable if the Niners want to compete at the highest level. And it's not just Bosa. Other injuries have compounded the issue. Terrain Moss has been hampered by a lingering hamstring problem and other lower body concerns from last season, leaving gaps along the defensive front. The result is an urgent need for depth, and it wouldn't be surprising to see John Lynch explore multiple additions, possibly even 2 pass rushers before the trade deadline. The front four isn't just about sacks. It's about creating pressure, controlling the line of scrimmage, and taking the heat off the secondary. Without consistent pressure, cornerbacks and safeties have to hold coverage longer, and that inevitably leads to breakdowns, big plays allowed, and more stress on the entire defense. Malik Mustafa's potential return is a boost to the secondary, but it doesn't solve the frontline issues. The team needs disruptive players who can create chaos for the opposing quarterback, set the tone on every snap, and give Shanahan the confidence that the pass rush won't collapse under pressure. Turning back to the offense, Christian McCaffrey continues to redefine what a modern NFL running back can do. While the rushing attack has struggled due to an inconsistent offensive line, McCaffrey's presence as a receiver has been nothing short of transformative. He's caught 39 passes on 52 targets for 387 yards, averaging nearly 10 yards per catch. That level of production is remarkable for any player, but for a running back, it's exceptional. He's creating mismatches against linebackers and defensive backs, forcing opponents to adjust their schemes to account for his presence on every down. The fact that he hasn't yet scored a rushing touchdown this season highlights just how dependent the team is on McCaffrey's versatility. It's a situation where his skill set compensates for other weaknesses, particularly on the offensive line, and ensures the team maintains explosive potential on every snap. His contributions in the passing game also create more opportunities for the quarterbacks, allowing Purdy or Jones to exploit soft spots in coverage and keep defenses off balance. Speaking of matchups, the upcoming game against Tampa Bay is shaping up to be one of the most compelling contests of the week. Both teams sit at 4-1 in the NFC, and it promises to be a clash of styles. San Francisco's balanced attack, combined with a potentially reinvigorated defense, against Tampa's aggressive schemes and veteran leadership. If Jones is available and healthy, it could be another showcase for his ability to command the offense under pressure, maintain poise in a hostile environment, and execute the game plan with precision. But there are still question marks. Brock Purdy's knee is a consideration, and the team has to carefully weigh the risk of rushing him back too soon. Meanwhile, Jones has had his own injury history to monitor, and the coaching staff will have to make smart decisions to ensure both quarterbacks remain available for the critical stretch of the season. This is where depth and preparation matter, and the Niners have shown they can adapt to adversity. The balance of this team has been impressive. On offense, Purdy and Jones complement each other's strengths. McCaffrey is forcing defenses to defend every inch of the field, and the skill players have stepped up in clutch moments. On defense, despite injuries, the secondary and linebackers have made plays that keep the team competitive, and young players like Mustafa could provide an immediate boost when activated. The challenge remains on the front four, where consistent pressure is essential for success. The absence of Bosa has exposed vulnerabilities, but it also underscores how dominant he is when he's healthy. Any moves to reinforce the defensive line would not only shore up the pass rush, but also improve the effectiveness of the secondary, giving the team a chance to dominate both phases of the game. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. San Francisco, California. Rumors are swirling across the NFL world, and if the whispers are true, the San Francisco 49ers are about to make a seismic move that could reshape the landscape of defensive football. Sources close to the team suggest that cornerback Jaire Alexander, the dynamic shutdown defender who has tormented quarterbacks in Green Bay for years, is on the verge of joining the 49ers. The potential acquisition of Alexander has sent shockwaves through the league. Known for his lightning-quick reactions, elite ball skills, and uncanny ability to anticipate plays, Alexander could instantly become the anchor of San Francisco's already formidable defense. Insiders hint that the 49ers front office has been quietly negotiating a deal that would bring the star corner to the Bay Area, with coaches envisioning him not just as a top-tier player, but as the leader of a unit that has consistently pressured offenses into submission. Fans are already imagining a secondary led by Alexander, locking down the league's premier receivers and creating turnovers that swing momentum in the 49ers' favor. The speculation points to a team determined to combine Alexander's individual brilliance with their aggressive pass rush, potentially crafting a defense that could dominate the NFC for years. Conversations around the rumor suggest that Alexander's presence could elevate young talents and instill a mindset of accountability and intensity throughout the roster. Of course, nothing is official yet, But the mere suggestion of Alexander in San Francisco has ignited a flurry of excitement on social media and sports talk shows alike. Could this be the move that pushes the 49ers from contenders to perennial Super Bowl favorites? Coaches and analysts are already debating the implications. With Alexander's coverage skills, opponents may be forced into uncomfortable, high-risk throws, and the team's defensive scheming could become nearly impossible to decipher. While the front office remains tight-lipped, the buzz is unmistakable. If Alexander dons the 49ers red and gold, it wouldn't just be a signing. It could be a declaration of dominance. For now, fans can only watch, speculate, and dream of the day when one of the league's most feared corners takes the helm of one of its most feared defenses. The NFL offseason has never felt this electric. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.